Hey guys, it's Christy and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we're going to be talking about 7 viral beauty products that I refuse to buy. So before we get into it, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel before you leave. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy, and let's get into it. Okay, so I initially saw this video from Kelly Gooch and I thought it was such a good idea. When I think about so many of the viral products going around right now, there are some that I keep being tempted to buy or wanting to buy them because they are super viral, but that I talk myself out of for one reason or another. So let's just hop right on into it. So we do have 5 high-end items and 2 drugstore. The first one is the Kosas Revealer Concealer. So this concealer has really had its moment. I've heard a lot of people raving about this one. People really seem to love this concealer. So I have heard a lot of people mention that their shades tend to run yellow, which I cannot stand in foundations and concealers. So right away, that's a bit of a turnoff for me. But I've also heard more recently a lot of people saying that the product goes bad really quickly. I've heard this is getting to be quite common with some Kosas products. Right away, as somebody with a larger collection, I'm not really interested in picking up products that go bad too quickly. While I do tend to buy and review a lot of makeup, I do like to get at least a really good amount of use out of my products. So I don't like to buy things that tend to go bad super quickly. So everyone's raving about this one, but between the shade range and the shelf life, it just really wouldn't make any sense at all for me to purchase. So I've definitely been dodging that one, and there have been a couple of times where I'm thinking maybe should I, but I think I can safely say that I will definitely not be purchasing that concealer. Next, we have a very well loved product, and this is the Rare Beauty Soft Pinch Liquid Blushes. A lot of people seem to really love these, and a lot of people really love Rare Beauty, which I get. I love Rare Beauty as well. I think she has some amazing products in her lineup. And this is a product that people have been raving about since these came out. People really seem to love these blushes, and there's been a few times where I've been like, should I just grab one, maybe to try it out? Everybody seems to love them, but I don't really reach for liquid blushes. I have a couple in my collection. I have the Charlotte Tilbury ones. I have a couple from the drugstore. All formulas that I really like. I do tend to reach for the Charlotte Tilbury quite a bit, but the other formulas I just don't really, because I am a big fan of powders. There are some cream formulas I like, some liquids I like, but 8 times out of 10, I'm probably reaching for a powder blush. So for that reason, it doesn't make any sense for me to purchase a liquid blush. And then I've also heard that these are so incredibly pigmented. You really don't need to use a lot of them. And they come in a fairly decent sized little bottle. So you're only going to use a tiny bit of product, but it's going to last forever. You're never going to be able to use up one of these liquid blushes. So for me, it just genuinely does not make any sense to purchase one of these liquid blushes. I'm not going to use it nearly enough, and it's just going to end up going bad. And also, for a blush that is so incredibly pigmented, I don't think I would love that as much either. I do tend to like blushes that are a little bit more buildable because I don't like going overly crazy on blush. So the Rare Beauty blushes just make no sense for me to purchase, but because they are so viral, they do keep getting my attention, and I keep wondering if I should grab one, but at the end of the day, it doesn't make any sense to. Even during the holidays when they release their minis, I do consider picking up one of their sets that has the minis because, hey, at least I'll have tried the formula, but again, it still doesn't make sense because I know it's not something I'm going to use a lot. Moving on, the new Tarte Contour Blush and Highlight Wands. Okay, so I'm putting these all in a group because Tarte is a brand over the last year that I feel like has really started making a comeback. I feel like Tarte was big there for a while, and then we really didn't hear much from them, and nobody was really using their products. And then over the last year, they've started coming out with these exciting new releases, and people are just really into it, which is great. I love to see it, but these contour blush and highlight wands seem to be trying to dupe the Charlotte Tilbury wands. So we've seen some drugstore brands also trying to dupe those wands. I believe Milani, Flower Beauty, I haven't tried them out, so I don't know, and I'm a big fan of the Charlotte Tilbury ones myself. I don't understand why a brand like Tarte, which is also a more high-end brand, would try to dupe another high-end brand. When I think of a dupe, I think of a drugstore brand that can do the same thing at a much lower price point. That makes sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me why Tarte would come out with the same thing. And I've heard good things about the Tarte ones. I really have, and I definitely considered picking them up when they first came out, but I think these are just going to be a big pass for me. I love the Charlotte Tilbury ones, and I really don't see a need in my collection to have the Tarte ones either. I think I would pick up the ones from Milani or Flower Beauty before the ones from Tarte. Next, I have the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Baking Powder, and in particular the shade Cherry Blossom. Like, this powder I think has been out for quite some time, but has definitely regained a ton of popularity. I think mostly because of the Cherry Blossom shade that really helps give those more pinky toned under eyes, but also I've heard that it's got great coverage, all of the things. And I've thought about picking it up because people have been raving about it so much. But then I remind myself that, one, I don't really like loose powders. They're too messy. I have very dry skin, so pressed powder usually works out better for me anyway. I don't like to bake. It just doesn't make any sense for me to pick up that product. Maybe it is amazing, I don't know. But just knowing my own makeup preferences and tastes, that's not going to be a product that I'm going to get on with super well. And next, I have the Dior lip oils. So these are another one that keeps getting my attention. Dior normally does get my attention. I don't purchase a lot from Dior because they are crazy pricey, but they do tend to get my attention. So these lip oils, people have been talking about these lip oils for an age. We've definitely been in a lip oil era, and there's nothing wrong with that. But these lip oils are about $50 Canadian. I cannot justify splurging $50 for a lip oil. I just can't. You know, they don't last a long time on the lips. They're super hydrating and they feel nice, but $50? I can't do it. And I've heard a lot of people make a comparison to the new NYX Fat Oil lip oils, and I have one of those. I like it fine. I don't think it's incredible. I think it's fine. It's a nice lip oil. I don't like the component. I do think the applicator is too difficult to get out of the tube. And I've heard the exact same complaint about the Dior. So if I can use the NYX, which is like $8 versus the Dior, I'm just going to stick with the NYX. It's fine. I mean, I am hard pressed to even spend $50 on a lipstick. I'm not doing that unless I am getting a steep discount. I mean, the Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks are $40 Canadian, and I don't buy them unless I'm getting a discount. So I just cannot spend that on a lip oil. No matter how pretty the packaging, I'm just not going to do it. Moving into the two drugstore items that I wanted to talk about, and first is the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. So people have been raving about this one. It's a dupe for the Milk Makeup Primer. It makes your makeup last so long. That all sounds really great to me. I don't like sticky primers. I hated the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. For one thing, it did break me out, but two, I also don't like things that are sticky. I recognize the value in a sticky primer because it is definitely going to prolong the wear of the makeup. It's really going to grab on and make your makeup last all day. I absolutely 100% see the value in that type of product, but I just do not like sticky textures. So I'm not going to enjoy that primer. I like the idea that it's from e.l.f. I like that it's super affordable. I like that I've heard it makes your makeup last a really long time. I like the component that it comes in. I like the squeezy tube with the pump. Love that. I'm not going to like a sticky primer. So even though it is super affordable, I've had to talk myself out of that one as well. And finally, the L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara. This mascara caused so much trouble online this year, and that's the reason I'm not purchasing it. But because it stirred up so much trouble, so many people were just rushing out to buy this mascara to see for themselves. But then I kind of thought to myself, you know, but then a poor marketing choice is going to sell that mascara. And I don't want that to be the reason I purchase something. It's just like a weird little moral stance I took against this poor product that I am sure is fine. I've heard a lot of people who I really trust say they really like it. I've heard some people that I really trust say it's good, but it's not amazing. And that's good enough for me. I believe it's great. but it's not amazing. I don't think it is so good that it deserved the crazy hype that it got. I'm gonna stick with the mascaras that I know and love from the drugstore. That being said, those are the products that I refuse to buy for one reason or another. Again, mostly it's just because I will not reach for these products, so why buy them? And I really had to slow myself down and try to make myself think about what I'm buying, what I'm purchasing. Especially as somebody who buys and reviews makeup, I still want to be very conscious about what I'm choosing to purchase. So I'm definitely making a point to not purchase anything that I know right away I'm not going to like. So that is it for me today. Thank you so very much for watching. Let me know down below if there's any super popular viral products that you're just not into, not gonna buy, refusing to buy. Let me know. I love hearing from you guys. Thank you so very much for watching. If you're new here, I hope you'll consider subscribing before you go. I do upload at least 3 new videos every single week. Thank you again so very much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!